Donc il doit bien y avoir d'autres choses que les hippies qui viennent l'acheter.
Dans les années 70, en Jamaïque, les Rastas fument le cannabis qu'ils appellent ganja. C'est un devoir religieux qui les aide à communiquer avec leur Dieu.
Herb is the sacrament of the Rastafari Church. And basically, through studying the Bible, we understand that it's there for the healing of the nation. In other words, it can nourish the mind just as food nourishes the body. It's like a key that can open certain aspects of your mind. And the brain needs feeding just as the rest of your body does. But for me personally, it seems to tune you into a certain wavelength that you can't reach without it. Although I do understand that through certain meditations, one can achieve these heights without smoking herb or taking any other drugs. But in the 20th century, I personally don't have the time, so it's like a shortcut to get to this place to help you be creative. And another thing I find really interesting about weed is how through the smoking of it or trying to acquire it, it brings together people of different classes, backgrounds, cultures. And in bringing those people together, there's an exchange of ideas. And through that exchange, other things happen.
Toujours dans les années 70, le cannabis est légalisé à Amsterdam. Ben Dronkers devient ainsi le premier producteur légal de marijuana, millionnaire.
Hello, my name is Ben Dronkers. I welcome you in the Cannabis Castle and have a look in the Sensi City. Well, hello, here you are in the dungeons of Cannabis Castle. Sensi Seeds Bank, grow rooms. This is where it happens for the last about 14 years that we grow all kind of new varieties that are well known, like Northern Lights, Skunk Number 1, Big Bud, Haze, and of course also the new variety Jack Herer, what we're going to produce this year on the market. Here we find different varieties that me and my colleagues, we tested out by once in a while, looking at the plants and try them out. In that sense, it's a wall where people can always look and go back to and say, this variety had a certain smell or a certain aroma. Quality is very important, and it's the most important factor where we look at. Always people think also about quantities of material you can harvest. And of course, it's very difficult to have a balance. You find plants with very large, big buds, and you find plants with smaller buds. But even the plants like this that have a very small bud is one of our basic plants we have for the breeding of many of the strong varieties that you can see on this side. That means that some of the strengths and some of the important potency we always try to bring back in one variety, and that is the variety that people buy in the shop. And that is the importance of good seed, is like any farmer could know that that's the start, and then you end up with some good materials. The Sensi Seed Bank grows the best marijuana seeds in the world, I think, for many years. Also, we want to make the best hemp seeds from the world, and we're working very hard on that. For that, we made a new company that's called Hempflex, and Hempflex produced in the north of Holland, on this moment, last year, 140 hectares of hemp, and coming year, we want to go to 1,500 hectares. That is the minimum we want to do, and for sure, later on, we will have to do more. From that material we have produced last year, we produce them on this moment just the raw fiber and the wood materials. It comes out like that. And from the wood we have the plan to make cat litter and actually the same things like people want to do in England. It's beautiful wood you can press from it, and also some composites like this pressed from fiber and wood. And very interesting, what I like, one of the things I like myself the most is the isolation material. It smells good, You can make it fireproof, and it's much better than all the glass fiber that is all in these living rooms out there. So hemp is the future.
Le chanvre est une culture qui se fait à partir d'un contrat. Le contrat nous est donné par un industriel en relation avec notre fédération des producteurs de chanvre. Et à partir de là, il est possible de cultiver du chanvre. Donc, les emblanchements de chanvre se font chaque année vers le mois de mai. Et la récolte se fait aux environs du 1er septembre.
En France, les graines produites dans la région du Mans contiennent un taux d'agents toxiques très faible.
Il y a une législation qui est très précise et qui dit que l'on doit employer des variétés de chanvre qui ont subi des tests, et en particulier du point de vue de la production de drogue, qui sont exemptes de drogue. Elles doivent avoir un fort potentiel agricole, d'une part, mais aussi avoir, disons, un taux de drogue qui est extrêmement faible.
Le chanvre a un avenir industriel très important, puisque d'après les essais que nous faisons, les utilisations que nous pouvons faire, on s'aperçoit que le chanvre s'adapte bien à beaucoup d'utilisations industrielles. Bon, le papier, c'est certain, puisqu'on le fait actuellement. Le textile, on l'a fait au début du siècle et au siècle précédent. Et actuellement, nous redémarrons cette filière et nous espérons bien revenir à un top niveau. Quant aux autres applications industrielles, actuellement, nous avons beaucoup de demandes françaises et étrangères pour tester cette matière. Un exemple parmi tant d'autres sur le plan industriel, un industriel allemand nous a demandé de la matière pour essayer d'incorporer dans le cadre de la fabrication de plaquettes de francs le chanvre, car c'est un produit très résistant et qui n'est pas du tout toxique, qui n'est pas nocif pour l'individu.
Le renouveau du chanvre attire l'attention du magazine High Times, la Bible américaine du cannabis, qui envoie Ed Rosenthal, journaliste intrépide, visiter l'Europe et la Hongrie pour en ramener des photos. Ed vient de publier son ouvrage Hemp Today, le chanvre aujourd'hui. En 1992, les médias britanniques font leur gros titre sur la première récolte légale de chanvre depuis 70 ans en Angleterre.
We're often asked whether people can get high from this because obviously people see it as being cannabis, marijuana. We prefer to call it hemp. One of the things we had to convince the Home Office before they issued us the license was that we would be able to comply with current European law, which says that you must not grow varieties which have got more than 0.3% THC. Which is the cannabinol in the plant. And obviously we have been able to convince them with our trials in previous years that the varieties are totally safe. They have checked up on